Welcome back. We're back again, and we're going to continue with the building and how to get it ready for UDK. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and when you get all the modeling done, the doors and all that stuff and the windows, you need to test it right away. You don't even have to put the doors and windows on. We're going to go ahead and get this tested. So go ahead and save your scene. Before you do this, and now we're going to go ahead and select scale and just kind of hold the left mouse button and drag over top and type in 16. And then we're going to click off of the building and onto the collision, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and select the XYZ scale and do 16. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Alright. And go ahead and click on the building too as well. So, got the building and collision. So what we're going to do is, now everything is set up, we're going to select both of those. We're going to go ahead and select, and we're going to just kind of get all that stuff, transform all the transformations. We're going to freeze those into a 0 or 1. So we've got transformations all frozen. Now we're going to go ahead and actually export this out. So right now, this is the building. Okay. And then we select the building first. See, you can see it, we're selecting it, gas station. And then shift select the collision. So this gets a little tricky. There we go. So select the building and then shift select the UCX object. And with those two selected, you're going to go to File, Export Selection. You're going to select FBX. Click on Export Selection. And we're going to type in the name that we want. Gas station, and go ahead and click on export selection. Now we're gonna, before we do that, we gotta go into these. We need to have under geometry smoothing groups is on. Under FBX file format, we want it to be FBX 2013. And click on export selection. Okay. Alright, we should be good. And now we're ready for UDK. Oops. And we've got a lot of UDKs in here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the one that I need. There we go. And click on the editor. It's going to take a little bit to open up. Need some elevator music. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and test our object out. I'm going to open up the content browser. And we're going to click on import at the bottom. We go ahead and find our object. Okay, click on the gas station, and it's going to ask us for a new package. Just go ahead and type in your first, last, and then the word package will work just fine. And scroll down to the bottom, and I know we don't have any materials on there yet, but we're going to go ahead and highlight that anyway. Click OK. There we go, there's our building. We have 22 collision primes. Double click on that object. Rotate a little bit. Let's go to the front. It looks like we have some flipped normals. I can tell that already. And that's going to give us some problems. I'm going to click on Show Collision. Looks like the collision is working just fine, but my walls are kind of see-through. So I need to get those normals flipped and get them looking right before I can bring them in. That's good to know. So now I know that. Let's go ahead. So that is showing our collision. And then we can click on Save Thumbnail. Right here. Close this. There we go. And that should update, and then go ahead and drag and drop this into the scene. Now again, this will has some problems because of the normals aren't quite right. So I'm going to move that back a little bit. Let's go ahead and build geometry. And let's go ahead and play from here. There we go. Yeah, it looks like we got all kinds of flip geometry here. Okay, so I need to fix all that. Not looking good. Alright, so I'll fix that, come back, and that's it. That's how you import it. I'm going to go back and check the geometry on this thing. Okay, so let's go get the collision out of the way. Let's go ahead and check the geometry on the collision. I'm going to turn off two-sided lighting, and the collision looks good. Now I'm going to go to the building, and you can see all the parts that are not working properly. That's this whole section over here. So I'm going to select these pieces here. And this, that. And let's go ahead and reverse normals. Okay. I'm also going to do a couple things here. I'm going to click on all the edges, select all the edges, and force a hardened surface. So go to normals, harden edge. There we go. And now we're going to click on the building. Shift select the collision, which is a little harder than you think. There we go. And let's do this again. File, export selection. And I'm going to call this a different name. _A. Okay. Open up UDK. Let's get rid of that one. And let's import that object again. So, import. Gas station A. Open. There we go. That looks much, much better. And let's add the collision. And let's bring this up a little bit and do a snapshot. Okay, now we can plug that into the scene. That looks much better. I'm going to go to the side view. Looks like we're not sitting right on top of the object. And let's move that back a little bit. There we go. And let's go ahead and build all in the scene. There we go. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look. And let's see how this looks. Alright, there we go. Okay, here's the garage door. Looks like everything's working okay. Basically looking at how big this building is. Kind of getting a feel for it. Now, when you create these buildings, they look a lot smaller than you think. Here's the bathroom. Okay, so you can kind of see that that doorway is just about right. That looks good. So a 10-foot wall and a 4-foot wide doorway works pretty good. Okay, when you're satisfied now, you can go in and continue with texturing. Now you know what to do, and until next time.